Joining us now, former Council of Economic Advisors Acting Chair Tom Philipson. Tom, what do you make of it's not just garbage that these individuals are spewing, but particularly what Lena Khan is doing. Okay, she's going to control the price of beer at Yankee Stadium. Well, then the ticket prices are going to go up, and regular folks won't be able to go to a ball game.
Yeah, I mean, the fundamental misunderstanding by these people is that they think the rich are not helping other people and therefore should pay more in taxes. And that can't be more misguided. In a market economy, the only way you get rich is to help other people. In particular, your customer, when they value a product more than you sell it for, you're basically making them better off. That's the only way you make money. And the economies have studied this. If you buy a pen for $1 and you were ultimately willing to pay 20, that's 5% of the value essentially going to the consumer as opposed to the producer. That's the number that economists have found is true across industries. 5% of the blood, sweat, and tears by these company owners go to the value of their companies, go to themselves. 95% goes to consumers. Now go to the politicians who only think you can help other people through the government, not in the private market, as I just described. They want to be the middlemen when you help people by taking your taxes and handing it out. But even when you do that, when they tax the billionaires, essentially, they're essentially taxing donations. No billionaire is going to spend all their money. So they're taxing donations. But donations help the poor a hell of a lot more than our revenue in Washington does, where the donations of the poor are 85% spent on the, donations of the rich are 85% spent on the poor, versus our welfare programs is about 70% of the federal revenue that we get. So it's a Robin Hood in reverse when you're taxing the donations of the rich and you're thinking you're helping the poor.
Tom, one thing that I get concerned about when I hear this divisiveness about attacking successful people is that most companies are run by people who put blood, sweat, and tears and their money on the line. And you're creating this divisiveness between the workforce and the ownership, or the workforce and the management. And we always worry about the culture in a company. How come we're not spending a little bit more time understanding what sort of culture wars are getting created just on Main Street alone?
No, it is a culture war, because I think none of these people have ever run or actually started a company. They don't understand what it is to be on the supply side of the economy relative to be on the demand side, essentially. But I think, take the number I gave you, 95% of the blood, sweat, and tear of these companies being started goes to the consumer. That's a very large share. I think that's a fair share, if anything. And the fact that that's how rich people give to society in the private sector. The fact that in the public sector you can also give, which is true, you can, but they also pay for most of the taxes in the public sectors as well.
This is Liz Warren did online, again, exactly what Marcus was talking about, pitting employees against management. She is mad hot, or hot mad, about people buying first-class tickets on airlines. Listen to this, Tom.
Airline tickets. New corporate earnings data show that more and more people are buying first-class and business tickets. Whoa, that must mean that people are getting richer, right? Because let's take a look at the numbers for the main cabin. They're actually going down. In fact, for the first time ever in their history, Delta expects more of their revenue to come from first class and business class tickets than from main cabin sales. Wow. To me, that says it all.
I'm sorry.
So she is a stone cold moron, because what is actually happening is this is the democratization of flying, because Delta is selling first class and business class seats by lowering the prices of them, so everybody has access, rather than handing out upgrades to the elite frequent flyers. Delta only 12% of their first class seats are going to upgrades now. 15 years ago, it was 81%, because you can buy an upgrade to first class on Delta for as low as $26. And all of that extra profit, every year, it flows into the pockets of the employees, Tom. Every Valentine's Day, they have a profit sharing day. Last year, the employees at Delta got 5 extra weeks of pay because of the profit sharing. She is an embarrassment to the United States of America.
That's what happens when you spend, half your life at Harvard and the rest of the life in the government. You have no idea how actually markets work. And I think she's complaining about inequality. The reason we have all these billionaires or multi-billionaires that are growing lately is because markets are now expanding globally, particularly with tech. So they are getting rich because they're helping even more people. That's a great thing. I want as many billionaires as possible because that means a lot of people have been helped by their activities, essentially.
Well, Tom, I know Elizabeth Warren has made plenty of money on the stock market, so I'm not sure if she's trying to set up a short, but Delta made the decision to modify its business plan to try to drive more profits by focusing on the first-class customer and getting more money from them, so as Dagan pointed out, so they could subsidize the main cabin. And so I think she probably needs to do a little bit more research, and that's the kind of misinformation that really I got to tell you, it infuriates me.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I mean, the fundamental problem, I think, is that they don't understand is that you only get rich by helping other people. That's how they're misconstruing everything, essentially. And they only think you can help other people through the government as opposed to through the private sector where most people are being helped.
Okay. Tom, thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know who flies with me in first class? Construction workers. Because I bought a cheap first class ticket to Cincinnati, sorry.